Ever sit down to pray and your mind just goes completely blank? Like you want to talk to God and you know you should, but you don't even know where to start? So you sit there for a few seconds and you try to say something, but then your mind starts to drift. You get distracted or you start overthinking what you're saying. And after a minute or two, you just give up. If you've ever felt that way before, I want you to hear this clearly. You're not bad at prayer and you're not spiritually behind. You've just never really been shown how to pray in a way that works for your mind and actually sticks with you. Because prayer was never meant to feel confusing or pressured or like you're trying to come up with the right words. It's meant to be a conversation. And today I want to show you how to step into that simply, honestly, and without overthinking every single word. Often, what happens in real life is that we sit down with good intentions, but our mind starts to wander almost immediately. You may feel uncertain what to say next, or you feel like everything is just kind of like surface level, or it could even feel like I've said this before and this is just repetitive and I'm just kind of going through the motions. There's an honest emotional layer to this too, because you can start to feel like other people are better at this than you, or you feel like you're somehow spiritually inadequate. You can also go through this guilt cycle where you don't feel like you're performing well enough or that you need to perform. And so then you start to feel guilt. Well, then the next time you sit down to pray, you just feel guilt. So you start to avoid it altogether. So instead of prayer feeling peaceful, it starts to feel awkward. Most people were not taught how to stay present in prayer. Sometimes this happens because we think that prayer has to sound meaningful or deep. We overthink every word. We compare ourselves to other people praying, especially if you're praying in like a group setting. But that just creates pressure and disconnection between you and God. It can also happen if you're just not really sure what the end goal is of prayer. And if you don't know where you're going, your mind is going to start searching for an end to this conversation. And then it's very easy to get distracted and think about that item that you need to add to the grocery pickup order before it comes tomorrow. More often than not, I don't think this specific issue is a heart issue. I think it's because you just lack direction and you need a little stability. In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus really shows how you can simplify prayer and take the stress out of it. This is also where you find the Lord's Prayer if you're familiar with that. So if you're really not sure where to start, you can always go back to that and work from there. To simplify this a little bit, you can almost imagine it's like you're having a conversation with a friend, because there's a little bit of a natural flow to when we speak to people. Sometimes something is urgent and we just shout out the thing that's going wrong, or maybe there's an actual emergency and you just need to shout out the thing that's going wrong. But usually we say, "Hi, how are you? How was your drive? How was your flight?" We kind of get into things as we go along instead of just pushing it all on somebody. Now, to be extremely clear, you don't have to follow this pattern at all. You can pray any way you want. As long as it's you talking with God, it doesn't matter. I don't actually think that there is a biblical rule to what I'm about to teach you. This is just if you're lost and you're looking for a structure. This is one option that you can follow. So often when you start by acknowledging something real, that's going to help you to open up. Then you can really see what it is that you need and start to let go of the pressure of holding on to those things. Prayer doesn't need enough structure that it becomes rigid. It just needs enough direction for you to follow that you can feel grounded in it. When your mind has a specific place to go, it makes it a lot easier for your heart to open up. Psalm 62:8 says, "Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us." Let's walk through an example together. And the first step we're going to take is to just acknowledge something very simple. Just, "God, thank you for getting me through today." But then we're going to move into honesty and say, "Today I have been feeling overwhelmed." And then move into what we need and recognize, "I don't really know what to do about this." Then we're going to release it to God. And we're going to say something like, "I'm giving this to you because I don't know how to carry it." I want you to notice how this isn't a long process or a very polished process, but it's real. And it's just an honest process. You don't need to search for the right words. You just need to be unpolished and honest enough until your heart starts to settle down. When you get to a point that prayer starts to feel more natural for you, you're going to avoid it a lot less. You're going to feel a lot less pressure to perform perfectly. You're going to end up staying present longer, and you're actually going to end up going deeper than you even wanted to in the first place, because it's going to feel more calm and settled and relaxed. This is going to help you go from awkward to connected and from more pressured to more peaceful. God isn't grading your words like he is some sort of school teacher. He's just trying to hear from your heart. And after you practice these steps, prayer is going to start to feel more like a conversation and less like pressure. If you're looking for someone to help guide you on things just like this, check out the description below. I've created a free resource for you called the Rooted Reset. And that is just going to help you take a few minutes and get your life reset and back to rooted in Christ, and we can work on that together. Again, that's totally free. Link down below. If that's something that would add value to your life, go check that out. I'd love to hear in the comments what part of prayer feels the hardest for you right now. Next time you pray, I don't want you to try and say everything. I just want you to start from a place of honesty. Short is fine, simple is fine, honest is what matters. God isn't looking for perfect words. He's just listening for your honest heart, even here.